Good morning. This is Kelley Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here today talking about the crocodile stitch. Now, there is this pattern by Bonita Patterns, and it's called the Crocodile Stitch Baby Boots. And you can see that it looks like this, and this is in crochet. And so I thought maybe today we could talk about how to do it in knitting. It's a really cute little pattern I've made. I tried high and low to find my little baby booties that I had made before. Couldn't find them this morning to show you. So I just wanted to make sure and print out that picture and show it to you.
I bet you
But
gave them away. Maybe you gave them away.
I'm not sure what I did with them. I don't know. After you knit so many things, it's hard to remember what went where. Anyway, it's a really cute. I really like the crocodile stitch. And this Bonita Patterns, I wanted to, this next week, I'm going to be working on these. And this is the adult pattern. And that's in crochet. And so I wanted to do those and then see if I could make a pattern that is made out of knit. So I could show both.
So do the same
for this
thing,
next week.
Same stitch but knitting.
Yes, well, as close as you can to crochet. The pattern that I found is I found a YouTube video on by I Knit with Cat Fur, and she did a great job of coming up with a pattern that was in a different language. And she did it, so I wanted to show you that. And then
a bunch of people are joining us, so why don't you show them the crocodile?
Oh yes, these are so cute. I love these. And this is done in fingering weight yarn. And I like the Millie Calori is one of my favorites. Although I was thinking this unique sock, this new yarn, it would make some cute little, do you see that multicolored there? I thought that would make some booties. Or you could do a summertime one with a crocodile stitch out of kabasi, regular fingering weight kabasi, because this is a cotton blend that wouldn't be too hot on your foot. And so those are some ideas that I had for that. Also, every week we have a drawing. And for this last week, we had for some pure alpaca. And you said this blue colorway was the winner, right? And this is 100% baby alpaca made in Peru. So if you haven't tried this Bravo alpaca, and it is wonderful, 100% baby alpaca, you give it a try. And then the winner, all they have to do is get in contact with us at customer service at Alpaca Direct and give us their shipping address and we can get it out in the mail to them. And for this week, I was thinking, what about some Ultra Alpaca Chunky? This is a 50-50 blend of Peruvian Highland wool and super fine baby alpaca. And it has 131 yards. It's really good yardage for a chunky weight yarn. And I was thinking either this lilac color or the blue, or kind of a greenish blue. Don't you think, Jim?
Yeah.
Kind of like green or almost.
So what is it, lilac or turquoise?
Yeah. Well, this is kind of a bluish green. It has a like a multi look to it. See?
Lilac or blue green.
Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking that would be a good yarn for this week because I'm doing felted slippers here, and you can see that I have them on very large needles. And this is just the bottom of the foot that I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to be putting a nice little crocodile stitch around the top of it. And that's why I was looking at all these different ways to do it, because I want to find the cutest way that I can so that when we make our slippers that it's beautiful. And so I wanted to look, here's my little sample that I did so far just for us this morning.
So what's unique about the crocodile stitch?
Well, it kind of gives you the scales. Is if you look at it, it's tiered scales. So, and they're offset. So where one scale goes is in the indentation of the other scales. And it just makes a really cute little edging for booties, whether it's for adults or infants. And when I do mine, I like to do mine without the buttons because, I don't know, I just don't want to have to button something. So I just do it so it's a part of the boot. And so anyway, I just thought this was really cool. So let's take a look and see how easy this is to do. And I did my little sample here. And let's see where I am right now. If you look at my little sample right here. I had, wonder what I was doing here.
Removing our there's a bunch of keeps in the way.
Yeah, sorry, sweetie. This one these ones have.
No, on the ground because we're moving your studio.
Oh, right.
Why don't you move
Oh,
it over
got
this
it.
way a little bit?
Okay. Yeah, there you go. So I'm on row number 2. So all it is an 8 row or round repeat. And this, when I knit with Kat first, she did hers. Hers were in rows because she did a flat sample. Now I did mine in rounds. And so it starts with 1 round of purling. And then the round number 2 is knit 1 yarn over. And this one, when you do it in the round, you don't need your edge stitches. So it's knit 1 yarn over to the end. And then this one is a knit 1, and then you drop your yarn overs to the last. And actually, this is a knit 1, drop the yarn over. You don't do the edge part. So what I did is I just finished row number 1, and so what I'm doing is, oh no, I didn't. Let's see what we going. What I have go. Oh, right. Okay, so this one is I started row number 2, and that one was a knit 1 and a yarn over, and then you just knit 1 and try not to grab. So you just do knit 1 yarn over.
What is it you're showing here?
And this is just how to do the crocodile stitch, how to make that pattern, and all it is knit 1 yarn over. And you'll see that I have stitch markers every 8 stitches because it's a multiple of 8 if you're doing it in the round. If you're doing it flat and you want 2 edge stitches, it's a multiple of 8 plus 2. But I'm not doing it flat. I feel like this pattern is best suited for the edge of slippers and stuff like that. And maybe you could use it. I've done it where I did a makeup bag with the crocodile stitch on the flap of the makeup bag, and that was really cute. I like that. And anyway,
but it was always crochet, not knit, right?
No, that yeah, that was crochet. You're right. True story. And then you do that, and then after you get done with that knit 1 yarn over round, one second, sweetie, I'm just pulling my needles into position. So then I'm going to be, all I do is I knit 1 and then I drop my yarn overs. And so on this one, you would knit 1 and then you drop that yarn over. So you'll see me just knit 1 and then scoot that one off and knit 1, scoot, knit, scoot, knit, scoot.
Why don't you go 1 slow so they can see it? So
I'm just dropping, knitting a stitch and then drop and slipping the yarn over off the needle.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can see my stitch markers are every 8 stitches. I like stitch markers on the repeat so that if you get off pattern, you know that you're off pattern after that short repeat, and you don't have to get all the way to the end of the round to figure out, I got an extra stitch or 2. Because then you have to go back the whole round or row or whatever it is you're doing. And that is just absolutely no good. So I like to do it this one.
So this is if they want to do the crocodile stitch, if they don't crochet, they can actually just do it with knitting.
Yeah, you can do it in knitting. And you can see my crocodile stitches are actually starting to form. And you can see these guys are going in between. And usually the crocodile stitch is done with a fingering weight yarn. So it actually, the scales look more like scales, not so much like big pillows, if you know what I mean. And so my sample is done with worsted weight yarn just so that you guys can see better. But a lot of times it's done with fingering weight. And I'm going to do it on chunky weight yarn with mine. So I might make my crocodile stitches, instead of making them 7 stitches wide, I might make it 5 and make it a little smaller. So it's not so pillow-esque, shall I say. And then I was thinking on the crocheted version, they have kind of a backing, more of a backing. It doesn't just go from shell to shell. It has like a couple rows that you work in between. And so I was thinking that I might revise my crocodile stitch a little bit so that there is more of a backing and it doesn't just go from shell to shell. See, this one, there's no intermediary rows in between the actual scales. And so I kind of like the idea of putting something in between that. So now the biggest part on here is row number 4 or round number 4. So if I was doing this one, you would just slip 7 stitches to your red hand needle. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you do a yarn over. And then you start piling these stitches right over off, kind of like you're binding off right onto that yarn over that you did. And then I'm thinking she never really said in hers if she pulled that yarn over a little bit tighter so there wasn't too big of a loop going across this back here. But I think that you could do that. And then what you need to do is now you need to take this next stitch and make it into 7 stitches, so you still have 8 stitches remaining. You know what I mean by that, Jim? So I have 1 stitch because I looped all these on here. So I'm just going to go knit 1, yarn over. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I've recreated. have 8 stitches still. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And then on this next one, then what I would do is I go again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Boop, and do a yarn over. Now, when she did hers, she carried hers. Let me show you what on the YouTube video. She actually carried hers in the front like this. But I'll show you why I prefer to carry it in the back. Number 1, you don't see the working yarn in the front, right? Which is kind of cool. I like that. But then also when she did her yarn over, she had to take her finger here and control this yarn over like that until she got started. And do you see how there's a strand in front? The way that I did it, there's no strand in front. So I don't know. Hers didn't look like her finished product. When you looked at her sample on the YouTube video, you couldn't see the strand crossing across the front. But I definitely wouldn't want that strand crossing across the front if I don't have to. 5, 6, 7. So I did mine a yarn over front to back like that and just started piling them on. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, you have to get those 7 stitches back, so because you only have 1 here now. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you still have 8 stitches. And the only change that you make when you're offsetting them is instead of piling them on at the beginning, you would make your extra stitches right here, and then you would do this technique over here. You would swap the location of where you do each one. Does that make sense, Jim?
Yeah.
So then you could have it, just really easy. So again, I keep my working yarn in the back so I don't see that working yarn. 4, 5, 6, 7. Do that yarn over and then start piling the stitches right on top of it. And then when you get to your very last stitch, and you can see that I don't need the 2 side stitches because I'm doing it in the round, not knitting it flat. If I was knitting it flat, then I would want an edge stitch on either side and to make it balanced. So it would have a knit stitch on either side. So that would be 8 stitches per repeat plus 2 extra stitches to make either side balance out with a knit stitch on each side. So yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then again, put that working yarn in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then yarn over, start piling them on. 1, 2, 3, and that's the main row, round or row of the pattern, is where you're slipping the 7 stitches and then basically binding them off over your yarn over that you create. Put that right on there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ta-da! And then you would repeat, you would do a purl round, a knit 1 yarn over round, and then a knit 1 drop your yarn over round, and you would repeat it over and over, and then you see how you have these scales, the scales starting to form here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty neat. I never knew that you could do this crocodile stitch in knitting. And so when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because I really, really like these boots by Bonita Knits. And it is, they have it all the way from little kids to adult boots. And that it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. But it's quite comprehensive, shall I say, because just this one for the adult boots, I think it has like 14 sheets of paper on the pattern. Let me show you on here. I wanted to show you one thing.
That's a lot of ink.
Yeah. And do you see on here, on this crocheted one right here, where they have like several rounds before they do the, and then the scales just lay over the top of that I don't know, a couple rounds. That's what I want to try and create. So I'm going to be working on that at home. And I'm thinking maybe you can do garter stitch rounds with maybe a yarn over knit 2 together rounds or something like that. So I wanted to play around with that and see if I get a little closer to this. Because it's very close already. But I think that maybe with a little bit of tweaking, we can make it even closer. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then being able to use maybe do some summer slippers out of the Kabasi, this is a cotton and silk. It's 55% cotton, 16 bamboo, 21 elastic, and 8 silk. So that would make some really nice summertime ones for either baby or adults. And then I was thinking this unique sock would be pretty. I'm interested in trying that.
Dress, right?
Yeah, because see the stripes on it? I think it would make some nice little scales on it.
Tell them who that's from.
This is by Earth Yarns. It's called Unique Sock, and it's a fingering weight yarn, which this booty pattern is done in fingering weight yarn. And I think they used Mini Moki or something like that. But you can, the sky's the limit. You can also use Millie Calori, would be really nice because it's a non-superwash. I think it's non-superwash. Or maybe it is superwash, but it would work great for the slippers anyway.
So
neither here nor there. So, again, our voting for the Ultra Alpaca Chunky for this next week. And one, what did you say? One was lilac gem and the other is blue-green.
It looks blue on the screen.
Yeah, it does look blue on the screen, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm doing my felted my slipper boots, and they're out of the Ultra Alpaca Chunky. Yeah, so that'll be totally cool. I'm excited about that. And the winner for this week was this blue color, right? Mm-hmm. And it's Bravo Alpaca, 100% baby alpaca. It's our Coeur d'Alene yarns, and let's see if the winner is for that. It is Eileen Rickman. Eileen, congratulations. Look what you won. You won some lovely baby alpaca yarn. All you have to do is get in contact with us at Alpaca Direct customer service, and we just need your shipping address, and we can send this out in the mail to you. And you can try it and see how you like it. So all of you, let's see, this next week I'm going to be talking about, I think I'll probably be finishing up my slippers, and I'm either going to be talking about a market bag or a summer tee. One something like that. So I hope all of you have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.